Hey y'all, how's it going? I am Joy, that is Steve, and welcome to the NFL Predictions Versus for week 15 already.
Yeah, hard to believe we're heading close to the end of the season there.
Yeah, I mean, the entire football landscape is coming to kind of a close, which is kind of
Hmm.
sad.
Hmm.
We've only got a few weeks left of this, and then fantasy football is entering their playoffs, so it's going to be
Hmm.
really exciting to see where everything shakes up and lands there.
True.
So, how did you do in week 14?
It's kind of a drop off from week 13 there. I think the gods must be punishing me for making fun of John there. So 'cause, I ended up in 7-6 this week there.
Man, you
I'm
had
sure you
such
had the same record.
Yeah, I did. I went 7-6 as well, but you had such a bone to pick with him, and I don't know why, but it was hilarious and I loved it.
Mm. Yeah.
It was awesome. But yeah, so Steve and I both went 7-6. I don't remember the others' records offhand, but I do have the standings handy.
Mhm.
SDS pulled ahead. He gained a game on me because, of course, and we will talk about exactly why he did so later on when we get into our recap. He is at 132, 74, and 2. I am at 129, 77, and 2. John has a very, very thin lead for third place at 126, 80, and 2. Buff has 125, 81, and 2. And Steve, after his amazing week 13, I believe it was week 13,
Mhm.
has pulled within 4 games now and is only back at 121, 85, and 2.
Mhm.
So that is very good, and I can't wait to see how you manage going forward.
Yeah.
It's
Hopefully.
honestly a dogfight. There's like 2 different dogfights here, 3 really if you count Buff and John. So it's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see kind of who all does what.
Yeah. True. True.
All right, so I have a bit of a rant to get to, but I want you to take the floor first on your regret of the week.
Okay. Obviously, I think I know what your red is going to be there, and
Mm.
I'll let you do 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 it after I get done there. My regret is obviously picking the Dolphins to beat the Chargers there, and that didn't expect Tua to fall flat on his face there Sunday night there.
Potentially, literally, I didn't see that game, so I don't know if that was a throw to something that he did or not, but I really hope it was.
Hmm.
I'm picturing a Daniel Jones tripping himself kind of moment where he falls on his face,
Hmm.
which I can't really see Tua doing, to be fair, but it'd be funny nonetheless. I was really happy with how that game went. I knew that it was going to be close, but I was hoping that at home the Chargers would be able to pull it off, and
Yeah.
thankfully that was a decent split game for me.
Hmm.
However, what was not a decent split game for me was me completely forgetting that the rest of the 49ers offense existed
Hmm.
and that their defense was amazing.
True.
And I took the Bucks over them, mostly for the sake of agreeing with SDS so that I didn't risk like losing too much ground
Hmm.
with him. And I wasn't for sure how the Brock Purdy situation was going to go with San
True.
Francisco, but he showed up, played lights out, and honestly, I should have anticipated as much, even
Yeah.
without a good QB at the helm. You've got McCafferty and you had Debo. Much
Hmm.
unfortunate what happened. And then you've got Kittle and that amazing defense, and Nick Bosa's back. So
Hmm.
I just
And
didn't
I.
take into account all of the talent that they had.
Hmm.
And so that kicked my Lions game out of my regret immediately because I
Yeah.
should have had that.
Yeah.
100%
I
should have had
figured
that.
that was going to be your regret of the week there, not choosing the Lions.
It kind of was in a way, but then San Francisco happened and it's just like, well, I really blew that one. So that was immediately my regret. The Lions thing, I knew that they were going to win it, but I kind of didn't want to go down that road, and
Yeah.
if that makes any kind of sense, because if I go with them and then they lose, then I'm just sad twice. But if I
Yeah.
don't go with them, and they win, then at least I get some victory.
Yeah, true.
So it just kind of my really stupid one pride logic of just not trusting them until they actually do win, and then I get to be happy about it.
Yeah.
Um, but so speaking of that, that is kind of my game of the week actually,
Hmm.
because it was
Okay. Yeah.
a really fun, dominant performance
Yeah.
on all
True.
aspects.
True.
And that Panay Sewell catch, the first down, was just the icing on the cake. They pulled out all the stops in every way imaginable, and they ended up getting a really good division rival win. So they are 1-1 with Minnesota, and they have a chance of sweeping both the Bears and the Packers. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to the rest of the season
Mhm.
a lot, and I think it's gonna be fun. So, what was your game of the week then?
True. My my game of the week there is also kind of my shocker there. It would be the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans because going into the game I figured it was going to be another 40 burger, but then the Texans shocked me there by taking the lead there in the past 3 quarters there and took a last second run there by Dak and the Cowboys to come back and win it late in the game.
I agree. Yeah, that was actually going to be my shock. Wasn't the result, but the score and the fact that it was that close. And what did I say before? A couple of weeks ago when you were saying it was going to be a 40 burger, and I said that anytime I try to predict something is going to be a complete blowout, it ends up being way closer than it should be.
Yeah.
And then I did that for the Houston game, and I said
Yeah.
that why don't we just say we'll put up 50? And then turns out, no, they
No,
couldn't.
it wasn't.
So, lesson learned, always listen to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Do not predict blowouts and scores because they do not go
Yeah.
well.
Right.
But let's see, since you went with that one for your shock of the week, I will go
Yeah.
ahead and take the Raiders game as my shock because, quite frankly, Baker doing Baker things and getting that final drive was very reminiscent of Brady against the Saints in Week 13. So
True.
having that happen in back-to-back weeks in primetime events, no less, was
True.
a bit of a surprise. But
I, I think their Sean McVay must be a quarterback whisperer there to take somebody who's down the slack like Baker Mayfield and turn him into a star instantly there.
I don't know. I think we do have to give Baker some credit on that because he isn't exactly a slouch at QB. I mean, he's got his
Hmm.
issues. He has a whole cycle, which I should have grabbed the photo of. Gosh darn it. There was a photo that showed his cycle of like playing like crap, getting
Yeah.
disheartened, get the underdog mentality, win some games, makes a good TV commercial, plays like crap
Hmm.
again. So it's a
Hmm.
whole cycle. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that we're in that cycle because of what he has to go and face in week 15.
Hmm.
So I hope that we're in the actually playing decent phase of the cycle,
True.
but we shall see.
Hmm.
That covers, I believe, our entire recap now, right? Because we both had our
Yeah.
shocks done and our game of the week and our regret of the week.
True.
So
True.
that's awesome. Let us know your regrets and shocks of the week down below. I am getting texted by 2 people in Discord right now.
Hmm.
What is going on, y'all? My light is on.
Yeah.
I have the button for a reason.
Yeah. But obviously now for all football fans, the bye weeks are officially over. There, it's now every team playing down the stretch there to the end of the regular season.
Indeed, it is. Yeah. So we've got a whole full slate for the remainder of the year, and I absolutely adore that. All right, that was actually really lengthy of
Yeah,
an intro for our standards. That was decent.
yeah.
All right,
Hmm.
you ready to head on it?
Absolutely
'Cause I am not looking forward to this one. Week 15 and week 16 both have problematic scheduling. So,
true. There.
oh, first game up, we have a Thursday night NFC West battle with the 49ers, who I really hope have their A game,
Hmm.
go to Seattle.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Brock Purdy is the main attraction right now till Jimmy G comes back from around the playoffs there.
I heard that Brock Purdy has an oblique issue.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be enough to keep him out of action, but it is something to I think be mindful of on the just in
True.
case.
And obviously Seattle coming off a rough loss to Carolina
Yeah,
there.
which I mean, John was saying tonight as we were chatting that that pick about the Panthers over Seattle should have been something that he went with, and so that's his personal regret
Yeah.
because he kind of seen it coming. Personally, I didn't, so
Yeah. Me
kudos
neither.
kudos to Buff for getting that one right.
Mm-hmm. True.
But for this
But
one, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Niners this week. They're hopefully Christian McCaffrey and Purdy and all the weapons from the Niners there can survive the 12th man in Seattle there. So my pick is the Niners.
Yeah, I agree. I think like the main reason that I'm taking San Francisco is for McCaffrey. Seattle seemed to have trouble stopping the run, and so if you
Mm-hmm.
can't stop, a standard run of the mill running back, I don't think you're going to have an answer for Christian McCaffrey. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much the only reason that I went with it.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that Debo is going to be out as well. Because I know I had to sit him
Yeah.
in my sleeper league. So
Yeah.
I'm really
Because
sad about that because
obviously,
I just traded for him.
yeah. So obviously, he's injured right now there, and who knows how long he'll be out with it there.
Yeah, they said that sometime during the rest of the regular season he might be able to come back, but honestly, I would probably sit him until the playoffs. If you know that you're going in, I would probably
Yeah.
sit him to make sure that he's going to stay healthy because a high ankle sprain and a knee injury is nothing to play with, especially for his kind of play style and his position. So it would
Yeah.
be smarter to just sit him and
Mm-hmm.
kind of sneak your way into the wild cards, even if you have to, or if you're just going to win
Yeah.
the division, go for it.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of people who are winning their division, we go to the NFC North, where the Vikings will be hosting Indianapolis.
That's obviously a special Saturday game
It
here.
is. We have 3 games on a Saturday.
Yeah. And obviously, with the Colts there, you never know what kind of mindset Jeff Saturday will play his team there.
Yeah, I'm so unsure about Saturday, um, which is ironic because that's the game being played on Saturday. So all of Saturday just makes me really uncertain.
Yeah,
Let's
true.
see, how did they do last week? Were they on the bye last week?
I think they were on the bye there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
That should be
Well,
helpful.
obviously, they needed the rest there.
Yeah, especially after getting blown up by the Cowboys the week prior.
True,
So,
true. And obviously, the Vikings there, coming off a huge, shocking loss to the Lions of all teams.
let's not say shocking. It wasn't that shocking. They got manhandled from pillar to post in all facets of the game. It wasn't a
Yeah.
shock. It was just kind of it was a bit of a gut punch in a way. I mean,
Hmm.
their division is still their division. They're not going to lose it because they lost to Detroit, and they're still going to make the
True.
playoffs. But it does kind of bring about the ire of the Vikings haters now,
Hmm.
because they're being called fraudulent and they had a soft schedule, and that's the only reason that they're even here, and that
Hmm.
maybe the North should be similar to the NFC South, where like no teams are actually good. You
Yeah.
know, it's it is a conversation to have, but I still think that they're being very hardcore judgmental against Minnesota. They're a good
Well,
team.
yeah, exactly. There, that obviously that it's a wake up call for them to improve their game there.
Yeah, I will say losing to Detroit should always be a wake up call, and that's some teams don't always have. Looking at
Hmm.
you, Arizona and New York,
Hmm.
but like you should always prep for every team that you face, and some teams don't really do that,
Yeah,
which is
but
unfortunate.
yeah, but with me there, I expect Kirk Cousins and the Vikings to maybe come back from that huge loss there and hopefully improve their game there, and they'll beat the Colts there.
Yeah, I agree. Typically, I like to go with teams that are coming off of the bye because they're more refreshed. But when you're coming off the bye and you have to go on the road immediately and you're facing a team like Minnesota, it's a little bit more difficult to rationalize that. So I'm taking the home team on this one. I think they do have something to prove now that they lost to Detroit, especially. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully they can stop the run with Indy because they couldn't last week. That might be an error, and it might also just be a bit of a dig, but I'm
Yeah,
feeling a little bit spiteful. Just
yeah.
a tad.
You gonna put it in the spike column?
No, actually, because I have nothing against Indianapolis. I was just kind of taking a couple of shots at Buff for the Vikings losing. I don't get to do that often. So,
Okay.
then again, I think he went with the Lions, actually, so good on you. I
Yeah.
forget, but either way, we now move on to the second game of a Saturday when we have the Ravens and the Browns.
Yeah. Obviously, this is a kind of a downer game there because never because the Ravens. I don't know what status of Lamar Jackson there, and then last week they lost Tyler Huntley to injury there.
Yeah, I don't know who they're gonna get to play. If Lamar Jackson plays, then I'm mad. Um, with my pick because I'll be in full transparency. I went with Cleveland only because
Mhm.
of the quarterback situation in
Yeah.
Baltimore and the
Yeah.
fact that Baltimore's defense can't seem to stop anything. So,
True. All right.
I
That's
mean,
good.
they're just.
Yeah.
I've
The
said it
question.
since week two. Baltimore has a very, very weak D, and it's going to end up costing them, I think.
Yeah. And obviously, you never know what Deshaun Watson's play will be
I'm
plays
gonna
like
say
that.
bad. I'm still gonna say bad. I know that he might have came out and said some things about field rust and said that when it clicks, it clicks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it ain't clicked yet, and I don't
No.
think it's going to. I think that they took a huge risk on this player.
Acquisition.
Yeah, the acquisition thereof.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Jacoby Brissett had the chemistry with that team, and so
Mm-hmm.
is he better than Deshaun Watson? That's obviously debatable, but I think that
Mm-hmm.
you had him the whole year,
Yeah.
and now you're going to throw Watson in there, expecting him to be what he was, what, 3 years ago now, and
Yeah.
it's just not going to be that same guy.
No.
And I'm kind of happy about that, to be fair. I'm
No.
taking the Browns because of Nick Chubb and Miles Garrett, but
Okay.
outside of that, honestly, I really just don't care about the outcome of this game, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a lot of people
Neither
do.
team is really in my view, so
Yeah. On the radar there.
yeah, it's a big meh.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna that's gonna be our first split there because I took the Ravens there right now there,
Yeah,
assuming that.
that's respectable. I can see that. I
Mhm.
can see Lamar playing. To be fair,
Yeah.
how did their matchup last time that they faced off go? Because
I
Lamar
forget.
played then too, and I remember Miles Garrett was looking for a sack on him.
Yeah. I
How did
forget
that go?
now.
Yeah. The Ravens won that matchup 23-20 at home, so it was a very tight match.
Sure.
So now we'll get to see, I guess, in this game if the Watson effect is actually
Mm-hmm.
a good thing or not. Because it'll
Mm-hmm.
be basically the same teams if Lamar plays, and it'll be
Mm-hmm.
in Cleveland, so he'll have the home field advantage.
True.
So we'll see how he does. I think this is a decent split, and is actually going to be for an interesting game
Mm-hmm.
that I really should care about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, this game is going to be fun just because of where it's located. We have the Dolphins going up to Buffalo
Mm-hmm.
to take on the Bills in an AFC
Yeah.
East battle.
True. Obviously, the, the Dolphins are on a little bit of a slump lately. There,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's happening with them. There, I figured their weapons would. would carry them close to a playoff spot there, but then they lost to the Niners, and then last week they lost to the Chargers there.
Yeah, I mean, losing to San Francisco honestly does kind of make sense because it's a powerhouse of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers, I don't really know what you could say for that game, to be fair, if you're Miami, because yeah, you were on the road, you were in California. Weather really wasn't a problem, even though you had heaters on the sidelines for some reason,
Yeah,
but whatever. Um, I don't know. Like, I would have fully expected Waddle and Tyreek Hill to be more of a playmaker and kind of be the difference, but
yeah,
they've had some really tough games in recent weeks, like you mentioned with San Francisco and then the Chargers, and now they have to go to Buffalo.
yeah.
So they're not having a very easy schedule right now, and I think that's going to hamper them
Sure.
going forward.
Yeah, going from warm weather to ice possibly ice cold game there on Saturday night there.
Yeah, I believe it was going to be like a temperature of 6.
Yeah.
So that is going to be fun. I'm expecting a lot of ground game work, which is going to be good for Buffalo, I think.
Mm-hmm. True. They got the advantage in that.
Hmm. Well, plus they're used to it.
True.
Like they're used to playing in that kind of cold climate, and
Yeah.
Miami just isn't.
Yeah.
So I really think the weather is going to be a huge factor here, and I'm definitely taking the Bills,
Yeah.
weather or no weather. I'm
I
going with the Bills.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that there. And on top of that, there the Bills recently signed Cole Beasley there to help their receiving core there.
I
Hopefully, it'll
heard
take
about that.
I
So
hopefully it'll take the pressure off of Stephon Diggs there and give Josh Allen another weapon to throw
hey,
to.
if it's gonna start taking some receptions off of Diggs, that does great things for me in fantasy, and I'm happy about that
Mm-hmm.
because we have a guy who has Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs on his team.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of kills it with those two most of the weeks, and
Mm-hmm.
if we can kind of limit how many points they get, the better.
Yeah,
But I do find it funny that Cole Beasley went back because didn't he play for the Bills once before, and then there was some like anti-vax thing going on, and he left,
yeah,
and then he went
probably.
to Tampa, and then he retired because he didn't want to play apparently, and now he's back because Buffalo's in the playoff hunt. So you're doing a bit of an OBJ there, Cole, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
yeah. We shall see.
Yeah. All right, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. We have okay, there we go. Yeah, my book and my layout are completely different, but at least we are on the right day now.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Eagles and the Bears, who are coming off of a bye, and they are facing a juggernaut
Yeah,
in the Eagles. And I could not be happier that their
true.
first game back off the bye at home is
Yeah,
against Philly.
yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
happy.
Yeah, I bet you're happy they're off the bye there, and you can start criticizing them again.
Frick the Bears.
Your favorite hashtag.
I love that. It's so much fun. It's a lot more fun if you can actually say it the way that you're supposed to say it. There's a
Mm-hmm.
guy on Twitter who does that. World of Isaac. I absolutely love that account. He's awesome, and he hits the Bears way more than I do, and I think that's kind of what fueled my bear hatred. He's just amazing. But
Yeah,
yeah, so frick the Bears and everything that they stand for. And
yeah. Apologies to our fans in Chicago listening to us right now.
if you're a Chicago Bears fan and you're still listening to me, how are you getting through this? Because I hate that team with a passion every single week, and you're still here. I appreciate you. I don't know who you are. Please comment down below because I would love to chat. I actually would. I have, I have a Packers fan that's a friend of mine. I have a Vikings fan that's a friend of mine. So I would love to meet and have a friend that's a Bears fan because I would love to debate that and why
Yeah.
you are the way that you are.
Please leave your comments below there, and I'm sure Joy here will respond to you.
Join my Discord. We can chat and watch the games. Not the Bears games. We don't play those in this house. But we can watch some stuff. We can have some fun, it'd be cool.
Yeah, here you go.
Follow me on Twitter for all the Aiden Hutchinson videos you can want. Anyway, back to the game.
Yeah,
What you thinking?
Obviously, the Eagles coming off that huge win over the Giants there Sunday there.
Yeah. Unfortunately for some, I'm holding true to the fact that the Giants are just not going to be the same the rest of this year. And the fact
True,
that you can start 6-1 and have a potential of missing the playoffs is just amazing to me.
true, true. Yeah. But obviously, we'll be in agreement that we'll both take the Eagles.
100%. Goodbye.
Hmm.
Yep. Bye, Bears.
Apologies to our Bears fans.
Bye, Bears. Moving on to the better North team, we have the Lions going to the Jets.
Yeah, obviously, Detroit's on winning the last 6 out of 7 there after a dismal start. They it's like I'm at, they're fighting now for a chance at a wild card spot right now.
Yeah, they are. I believe one of the things was they had to win 3 out of the next 4 games to guarantee a spot.
Hmm.
If they drop 2 of the next 4, then they'll need some help to get in. But the fact that they're this close is really exciting. Gotta be honest.
Yeah, you obviously you're a huge Lions fan there, and obviously you're riding the Jared Goff bandwagon.
Well, here's the thing about one bandwagons. They're annoying
Hmm.
to be fair because it's kind of like the if you don't love me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best kind of thing. And if you can't stick it out for, you know, 0-16 and still call yourself a fan after the season is over, then don't start showing up now that we're winning and
Hmm.
say that you knew it all along. And that goes for the media because the media is the biggest perpetrator of that.
Yeah.
They
Uh,
will dog you out one week because
sure.
you have one interception or something. And then the next week come back and say that they knew that you were always the guy. It's like, no, no, you didn't. I have proof that you said otherwise.
Yeah.
Stop it. Own what you
True.
say and say what you mean.
True.
As far as Jared Goff goes, I said in the beginning of the year that he should be the guy.
Hmm.
He came into his own at the end of last season, and all he
Yeah.
needs are good pieces to go around him, and he could
Hmm.
easily be a playoff winning quarterback. He did it in LA when they
Hmm.
actually gave him a defense and weapons. And all it took Detroit was a little bit of time for a good draft class, some free agents, some good scouting, and some rebuild. And now he's got confidence and he's playing his best ball right
True.
now. So
And good coaching there to guide him.
the jury for me personally is still out on the good coaching aspect because he still makes some Dan Campbell esque decisions that I disagree with a lot, like going for it on fourth, fake
Yeah.
punts. You know, Dan Campbell is really fun when it
Hmm.
works. And when
Yeah.
it doesn't work, it's like, what the heck are you doing? Please stop.
Yeah.
It just,
Yeah.
I don't
And
need this kind of anxiety this early in the
yeah.
game, Dan. Stop it.
Yeah. And the last time the Lions played in the Meadowlands, there they manhandled the Giants there.
That is a very good point. I didn't think about that.
Hmm.
That's true. The last time that Detroit was in New York, they
Hmm.
upset the Giants,
Hmm.
and the Giants haven't been the same ever since. So we'll see if this can be the same for
Yeah.
this particular team. The Jets
Yeah.
are a very strong defensive, physical team,
True.
and so it's going
True
to be a
with
fun
Sauce
game to
Gardner.
watch. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sauce Gardner, that entire defense is very solid,
True.
and
But
Robert Saleh did a very good job of rebuilding.
true. But with me there, I'm going to take the Lions to complete the New York sweep there, and they'll beat the Jets.
You know, against my better judgment, we're going to use that one again.
Hmm.
I agree with you,
Oh.
and I am taking Detroit.
Hmm.
My entire logic got thrown out the window this week because my whole
Hmm.
logic has always been I will go against Detroit in a tight game so that I'll be happy. And I'm willing to sacrifice my happiness for the sake of predictions and just kind of
Hmm.
having a gut feeling about how good they actually are. I know that they're a very good team, they're a very physical team, and so are the Jets. So I think it's going to be a great game.
Hmm.
And this has potential to be my game of the week again, even though I'm going to be a homer and take the Lions game of the week like 5 weeks in a row, but look, they're fun. Okay, they're
Mm-hmm.
really fun to watch.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I agree.
Yeah.
And if my logic comes back to bite me and they lose this one, I will take the blame
Mm-hmm.
for
Put it in your
not
regret the week.
sacrificing my point. Yeah, I should have sacrificed my point so that they could get the win.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, is what I'm gonna go with here.
Yeah.
So next up we have Pittsburgh, who I believe is starting Mason Rudolph, which I should have known
True.
ahead of time, but even they didn't know it until after I made my pick.
Yeah.
So,
True.
gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph will be leading the Steelers, potentially,
Yeah.
into Carolina to take on the surging
Mm-hmm.
Panthers.
When I made the pick there, I went to check Google there to see the stats of Kenny Pickett. They said he was running plays there on Wednesday there. So,
Really? Okay, good. Then I feel a little bit better about my pick because I really do like Mason Rudolph, and I think that he got a bad deal
mm-hmm.
on this whole thing when they signed Mitch Trubisky because he
Yeah.
should have been the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I know you hate Trubisky
I
ever since
do.
he was part of the Bears.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're guilty by association. I'm sorry. It'll take a lot for you to, get past that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just and it's not only that for me. Like in the Steelers organization, Mason Rudolph has been there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for the long haul as Ben Roethlisberger's backup,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you're just not going to choose to use him when the time comes for
Yeah.
the backup to assume that throne. It kind of felt like a bit of a punch in the face, a little bit,
Yeah.
and it hurt to see, especially with who they replaced him with. Like it's
Yeah.
just no, no, you just
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. But that
True.
being said, the defense is not terrible. They still have Watt on field.
Yeah. True.
Um, Offensively, I
And
think is where they struggle the most.
yeah. And and obviously Carolina they're coming off that huge win in Seattle. Their question is, can they recharge there and make a late run there, possibly to catch Tampa in that miserable NFC South there.
To be fair, I kind of hope that they do, just because I think it would be really fun to see how the division is going to shake out
Mm-hmm.
with all of the teams being sub 500 as it is, but all of them having
True.
like similar or the exact same record is going to be really interesting.
True.
And I
I
don't
imagine
know.
whoever wins that division is probably going to lose in the first round of the playoffs to the Cowboys.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, that's, you know what? That's fair. That's a fair point. So, congratulations for making the playoffs. However, goodbye. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. The whole landscape of the South is going to be really, really interesting next year because I don't know what
Yeah.
they're going to do.
Yeah.
Every
True.
team needs everything, pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
it'll be interesting to see. So for this one, as much as I do like the idea of Mason Rudolph playing, and
Mm-hmm.
I do like TJ Watt,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Carolina, actually.
Ooh. So uh, we got a split here. I
You
went with
do like taking the
Pittsburgh
Steelers, don't
under
you?
the under the assumption there maybe King Pick could be back by Sunday there.
Yeah, one can hope for you. It's just really funny. That's something that John and I were talking about because we've kind of like scouted the other players a little bit, and you tend to go with the Steelers more often than not, and I like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
What is it about Pittsburgh that holds your attention so well?
I don't know there. I don't know if it's Kenny Pickett there. I don't know if it's T.J. Watt there. I don't know if it's their coaching there.
Okay, I will give you that. I really do like Mike Tomlin. So if you're gonna
Yeah.
go with the Steelers just because Mike Tomlin is the coach, then I can understand that because he's
Hmm.
definitely a good coach to be
Yeah.
behind. But
Hmm. So,
it's interesting,
yeah.
really interesting.
Hmm.
All right, okay. Next up, we have the aforementioned Cowboys, who,
Hmm.
by God, last week almost lost to the other Texas team, and it was just
Yeah.
the Battle of Texas almost went the wrong way.
true.
It would have been hilarious, but also
Yeah.
really, really bad. They
Would
will
have
be
been the biggest
going.
upset in history.
Yeah, honestly, it would have been pretty close. They have potential to do it again when they go to Jacksonville.
Yeah, true. There and obviously the Cowboys. Obviously they were a little weak in the offense there. That's why they signed T.Y. Hilton there. There just this week.
I will say, I love that they went the T.Y. Hilton route and not the OBJ route.
True.
It made me a lot happier than it should for something that I don't even really follow. Like I am
Yeah.
not a Cowboys fan, so I don't follow that team very much, or nor do I have like any um real excitement for them.
Yeah.
There's some players on there that I like, of course, but to see them not take OBJ when OBJ
True.
is clearly ring chasing
Yeah.
made me so happy.
Yeah. So obviously, with them signing him there, that means they're out of the OBJ sweepstakes there.
One can hope, and his pool
Mhm.
is shrinking.
Yeah,
Makes me happy.
true. So the only place OBJ probably wind up back is back with the Giants there, with obviously the Bills signing Cole Beasley there, and the
Yeah.
Cowboys signing T.Y. Hilton there. So
Well,
he's out of options.
yeah. I mean, you are running out of options here because I mean, the only place I can think would maybe be Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, he could be a good complement for AJ Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Or if Debo isn't able to go, he could always go to San Francisco and try to help them out. But
True.
I don't really know what kind of a help he would be. Oh, I just had a horrible idea.
Oh, oh.
Oh no.
Get ready, ladies and gentlemen.
What about Kansas City?
Oh,
Because if you think about it, like Juju when he came here from Pittsburgh, hasn't really been doing a whole lot, and so to
oh,
pair off OBJ's speed with Travis Kelsey's
yeah,
everything else,
yeah,
that could be a dangerous addition actually, and that could be
true.
like the next little weapon to get them over the hump. Not that I think that OBJ could actually contribute
Yeah,
massively, because I do not think that he's that good,
exactly,
but
exactly.
that could be an interesting landing spot.
True. Yeah. But back to the game there. Question now is how's Trevor Lawrence holding up there? Obviously, a couple of weeks ago, there he looked like he twisted his knee there, but apparently he came back with flying colors there.
Yeah, because Jacksonville, we didn't even talk about that. Jacksonville beat Tennessee and held Derrick Henry down on the
Yeah,
scoring aspect, so that made
yeah,
me sad, but also
true,
good for you.
true. Yeah. But if I were the Cowboys, I'd be careful with them, similar to what happened with the Texans there. And I I think the Cowboys will win, but only by a close game, maybe 7 points or less.
Yeah, I think seven or less would be good. I think it will be a one score game, or at the
Mm-hmm.
very least, maybe like a nine at the
Mm-hmm.
most.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that Dallas has this one. I think that getting embarrassed by almost losing to Houston should be enough of a slap, a bit of a kick in the rear, if you will, to
Yeah,
get themselves going.
yeah.
So hopefully that'll power them through.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, well, speaking of these two teams, we have the Chiefs and Houston. This one
Uh,
should be a no-brainer, but
yeah, no brainer. Lock in the Chiefs there,
yeah,
please.
yep. Okay,
Not much
Mahoney.
to talk about.
Yeah, honestly, I feel bad, but sometimes some games are just like we don't really have anything to discuss.
Yeah, true.
Um, so we will take our time that we would have discussed that game and discuss the next one instead, I think, when we have Arizona and Denver.
Yeah, this one is two teams that are pretty much going nowhere. They're obviously Arizona losing Kyler Murray Monday night there to a freak injury there.
Yeah, he tore his ACL, so he's
Mm-hmm.
going to be out for a
Yeah,
while.
done for the season.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna be hard to come back from. To be fair, I give him a lot of crap in a lot of things, but I do of course wish that he does make a good recovery for next year.
Yeah,
I believe also Russell Wilson is in concussion protocol. Last I heard,
so there.
So this could potentially be the battle of the backups. And I don't know about
Sure.
you, but for battle of the backup, I trust Colt
Yeah.
McCoy a lot more than Brett, whatever his name is.
Yeah. But with me there, I think I'm going to take Denver there in a close one at home there because I don't know how Arizona does in cold weather.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't think about the weather, and I did take the Broncos at first. That was
Mm-hmm.
my initial gut reaction,
Mm-hmm.
but then I thought about it, and it's like I really do like Colt McCoy, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm shifting my pick away, and I'm taking Arizona. Now, if my initial pick was right, then
Yeah.
this is my regret of the week
Okay.
because I initially had Denver, and I chose Arizona instead. I changed my mind.
Sure. Sure.
So
So
we shall
that's a
see how it
third
goes.
split for us.
Yep, it is. All right, so yeah, another split. Gosh darn
Mm-hmm.
it. Great. So next up, we have what could very well be another one. We have New England and the Raiders.
Yeah. Obviously, the Raiders coming off a huge loss to the Rams. They they obviously had some weakness there. There.
Yeah, that was 100% the Raiders not being able to maintain a lead, and this has been their problem all year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but they always find a way of blowing it, and it's not always Carr's fault, but sometimes it
Yeah.
is where he like buckles under pressure, but also
Mm-hmm.
defensively,
True.
they just haven't been able to hang on to their momentum as well
Yeah.
as they should.
Yeah. Obviously, New England, they're coming off a huge win at Arizona there.
Yep, that was a really fun split. I'm happy that we got that one right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But with me there, I think it's going to be two in a row, and I'm going to take the Patriots to beat the Raiders.
All right, I agree. I am totally in agreement with that one. I do
Mm-hmm.
think this could go either way,
Mm-hmm.
especially given that it's on the road.
Yeah.
But I'm taking the Patriots because I like what Mac Jones had to say about Matt Patricia during the game, and I'm
Yeah.
sad that he walked it back after the fact. All right, this one concerns me greatly.
Mm-hmm.
For us as well as for the others who are making their picks, we have Tennessee going to the Chargers.
Yeah. Obviously, the Chargers, huge win there against the Dolphins Sunday night. There, I thought the Chargers usually in December would be big choke artists there.
And typically they are the chokers of the AFC, but I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
that they're kind of trying to kick that name a little bit.
Yeah. True. Yeah, and obviously, Titans. There, I don't know what's wrong with them. They're usually they would use Derrick Henry as their big offense, but lately there, he's been struggling there.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, to be fair. I really don't have a good handle on anything Tennessee related right now,
Yeah,
um, which is unfortunate given that's kind of technically where I'm from. But
yeah,
I just don't know what Tennessee is doing. Derrick Henry is still Derrick Henry. He's still going to get you the points that you need. And I
exactly.
don't know. Maybe they just need to feed him more.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what exactly is happening.
Yeah, but I think this week I'm gonna gonna take the Chargers there to continue the momentum there, and Tennessee will continue to struggle there. And if they don't don't reverse course there, then they'll probably lose the division either to the Jags or even not Texans or Colts there.
Yeah, just the Jags. The Jags are the
Yeah.
only one who's close, which
Hmm.
it's kind of funny how the season has shaped up like that.
Yeah.
I do think that it is still Tennessee's division, but
Hmm.
they do need to get their act together. I'm also taking the
Hmm.
Chargers, and
Yeah.
I believe that John did not.
Hmm.
So, great. Did we do the Falcons and Saints game yet?
Uh, I don't think so there.
Where did they
Oh,
go? Oh, yeah,
there.
no, we didn't. Speaking of, I got a reverse course because they were supposed to be in between the
Yeah.
Bears and the Lions, and I just seen the Lions and seen
Yeah.
blue, and I went for it. So I'm back up real quick. Y'all give me some time. We're
Yeah.
gonna go Falcons at New Orleans before we get into the rest of these games because I
Yeah,
was dumb and I
yeah,
skipped them.
yeah. Obviously, the Falcons they're going to be without Marcus Mariota, quarterback there.
Yeah, their own decision. They chose to
Mhm.
sit him in favor of the rookie that they drafted, which
Yeah,
could
mhm.
be a really good decision or catastrophic.
Yeah, true. There, yeah, and obviously, Saints there you never know. There, one week they could be unbeatable, and next week they they could be in the struggling pattern.
Yeah, they're very very wishy-washy this year. I will
Yeah,
definitely agree with that. I believe both of these teams are also coming off of the bye, so that could be why I
mhm,
also unfortunately skipped over it because I just assumed we did them already.
yeah,
So both of these teams are rested. New
mhm,
Orleans is at home. Falcons are
mhm,
starting a rookie.
mhm.
What say you? Because
Uh,
I
I'm,
think I got this one wrong, to be fair.
yeah, obviously, with me there, I think I'm going to ride the hand of Andy Dalton this week and
Oof.
take the Saints to beat the Falcons.
Yeah, I wish I would have done that. I'm going on a limb here, and I'm gonna trust in
Hmm.
this rookie and see that
Hmm.
he's gonna have some kind of fire coming out. And I think I'm gonna go with Atlanta over New Orleans.
Oh, another split.
Yeah, another one. And what reminded me of the fact that we didn't do this game actually was that John and I were talking about the fact that when he and I disagree on the Chargers and the Falcons in the same week, things go horribly wrong. And turns out we did again. And that's why I was like, wait a minute, we didn't even talk about that. I need to actually discuss that game.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that Patterson has a good game, and I'm hoping that the rookie actually does fairly well for himself, and that this
Hmm.
isn't a disastrous pick.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of disasters, we can segue into this one. We have
Hmm.
Tampa Bay.
Hmm.
If I can freaking there we go. We have Tampa Bay
Hmm.
hosting the Bengals.
Obviously, the Bucks they're coming up a huge loss. They're
Ugh, it was devastating.
Niners there.
Lee beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a harsh game, but it was kind
Yeah.
of fun to see.
Yeah.
I'm
Which
I'm
brings up
really sad.
yeah,
By
which
the
brings
way,
up questions there of Tom Brady's future there.
I don't think he'll be a Buck next year.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna bounce. I think he was gonna play again, more than likely, but I
Yeah.
do not think it will be with Tampa.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But
Sure.
what made me mad about that game last week was Fox pulling it
Yeah.
and going to Seattle and Carolina
Yeah.
because of the
Mhm.
competitive nature. Some
Yeah.
of us like to see dominance.
Yeah.
So
True.
it was kind of unfortunate that they decided, hey, this game isn't fun anymore. We can't let Brady just get
True.
completely demolished. We need to switch
Yeah.
away to something else. I get it from an
Hmm.
entertainment perspective, but
Yeah.
also it's
Hmm.
always so annoying when they do that.
Hmm. Yeah. But with me, I'm going to trust Cincinnati's offense there to demolish the Bucks there, and my pick is the Bengals to beat beat the Bucks.
I agree. I think Cincinnati is a really strong team,
Hmm.
both defensively and offensively, and I think that they're really, really strong for Tampa right now.
Hmm.
Now, that being said, Tampa coming off of a total embarrassment the last week,
Hmm.
it's possible that they'll have some kind of a chip on their shoulder coming in as having
Yeah.
something to prove this week, and maybe they'll actually play well. I don't know, but I'm going ahead and taking Cincinnati because I trust Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So, next up, we have the game that was flexed to the Sunday night game for good reason. We have an NFC East battle with the Giants going to Washington this time.
True. That's the last time they two played each other. It ended up in a tie there.
Yes, it did.
Hopefully, these two teams do better than the last time they played each other there.
I mean, can you imagine tying again? Let's just think about that for a second.
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
York and Washington back to back games against each other. They tie.
Yeah. Nobody could have predicted that.
That would be absolutely amazing. I'd be sad, but it'd be really cool.
That would be there. If they end up in another tie there, then 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 we'll all be wondering what the hell is going on.
That's a good point.
With me there, I think the Commanders at home will obviously beat the Giants there.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think that they learned from their mistakes in their tie, and now they had time to rest, and now they're at home. So it's kind of the perfect recipe for some Heineke action and a win. And the Giants will never be the same after looking through Detroit. So I'm keeping
Exactly.
true to my word. All right, one game left, and it is a biggie.
Yeah.
We have the Rams, who will be taking their baked goods into Green
Hmm.
Bay
Yeah.
to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Yeah. Obviously, nobody could have predicted the success of Baker Mayfield last week there.
Mm, I mean, I don't think that anybody really gave it a whole lot of credit, but I think
Hmm.
that it's not like really all that shocking to me. Because again, like we talked about during our recap, he's not a horrible QB. He just kind of had horrible situations that he was in my
Sure.
opinion.
Sure. Yeah. And th- this game's this game could be the game that Aaron Rodgers might need there to boost his confidence again.
I mean, sure. I kind of hope that he doesn't. Quite frankly, you can lose out and go away, and I'd be totally
Hmm.
happy with that. But I don't know. This game was really hard for me to pick because I was torn between going the
Hmm.
spite route
Yeah.
and going against Green Bay because I can, or going the Detroit really needs a better draft pick route and hoping that the
Sure.
Rams lose. Like the Rams losing gives Green Bay a win, which is
Hmm.
kind of me losing anyway.
Sure.
So I was very, very torn on what to do.
Yeah.
So
Basically, it's a damn if you do and damn if you don't
yeah,
situation with you.
pretty much, yeah. This game is just I hate it. I hate this game. Um, Not quite as much as I did when Green Bay and Chicago faced off. That
Yeah.
one was annoying. Um,
Exactly.
but for this game, I think I'm going to ride the spite train, and
Okay.
I'm taking LA.
Okay. And obviously, we have another split there, and I took the Packers.
Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. I was afraid of that, to be fair, because I do kind of feel more inclined to go Green Bay, but I decided to let my spite take hold, and I
Hmm.
had to do it. So it is time to look at everybody else's picks because we are running very, very late again.
Yeah.
We have SDS up first, who has those picks there, and the reasonings. I'll only read out the reasonings this time. We have him taking the Steelers
Hmm.
because we cannot have Carolina of all teams win the NFC South.
Yeah. Sure.
Sure. He went with the Chiefs, saying, "How do they keep getting away?"
Yeah.
Travis
No,
Kelsey.
nobody knows.
Yeah, Travis Kelsey's a reason for that. He
Hmm.
took the Falcons and said that it's better for the Saints to win for any playoff hopes for the Bucks, but he would rather harm himself than
Yeah.
root for the Saints.
Exactly.
He took the Jaguars over the Cowboys because if the Cowboys barely won against the Texans,
Hmm.
dot 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 dot.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I guess, but also, wow. He took the Cardinals, saying that both teams are awful.
Okay.
He took the Bucks, fire the cannons, in my
Okay.
face because this team is giving me Shiano and Glennon PTSD. Okay. And then he took the Packers, so he agrees with you, and he took the Giants. So he's an anti Heineke fella. Shame. And then next we have John's picks, who went with the 49ers, crying emoji, bye playoff dreams. He took the Browns, saying Chubb. That makes sense. He took the Lions, saying, imagine being only half game out of the playoffs. Yes, I can imagine it. It's
Mm-hmm.
happening. He took the Cardinals. He wants the number 2 pick for the Hawks, so he's going with the
Yeah.
Cardinals over the Bucks or the
Yeah.
Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
He took the Patriots. Said that the
Mm-hmm.
D will suffocate the Raiders. No
Okay.
comment. He took the Titans, saying Rumble King. I truly,
Mm-hmm.
truly hope that he does because we need some King Henry in our lives and he needs to stand
Yeah.
up. Will
Yeah.
the real King Henry please stand up?
Yeah.
We need you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Buff's picks. He took the Ravens over the Browns. No
Mm-hmm.
still means no. He took
Mm-hmm.
the Eagles with the parentheses of "Go Bears?" question mark. Ew. I agree with you. Ew. He took the Jets, which is understandable. I almost agreed with you on that one.
Yeah.
He took the Saints over the Falcons, which I
Mm-hmm.
agree with. He took the Cards over the Broncos,
Mm-hmm.
Titans over the Chargers, Commanders,
Mm-hmm.
and he agrees with me and is taking the Rams, I hope out of spite,
Yeah.
over the Packers. So
Yeah.
there we have all of that.
Mm-hmm.
My throat hurts, so I don't know about you, but I am ready to wrap this sucker up.
Yeah.
And
Might as well wrap it up there and
yeah,
obviously tell people to please like and subscribe and turn on notification bell for all future versus
yeah,
segments we
exactly.
do.
Next year I'm expecting to have some more content things done. I don't really know about the whole commentary aspect of it personally, but I do plan on having the things that I've been planning on doing all year this year actually done next year. So
Yeah.
we've got that. We've got some collaborations coming through. We're going to have some special NFL stuff coming through as well, per the
Mm-hmm.
usual. So if you're interested in all of that, be sure to subscribe and follow along. Let us know down in the comments who your teams are, what your regrets are, what you overall think about the season, and we will catch
Yeah.
you next week for more of the NFL predictions versus.
Thank you all. See you all next week.